We got to get into a wrestling match that happened last night where a body slam would be accompanied by this. Okay, so not exactly the type of music you typically expect playing at a wrestling match, but that's exactly what happened last night at Brawl at the Hall in Winnipeg. Sonya Ballantyne was there, and they're going to get into it. Welcome back, Sonya.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Listen, so you were at this event last night where the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra, they were performing, and there was wrestling. Okay, so take us ringside. What was that like?
The setup of the ring was on the stage and the orchestra surrounded the ring. So like they were kind of like it was really bizarre because I had no idea how they were going to set it up. But it was basically like you went to a show to see a film being done with a live orchestra. It reminded me so much of seeing a silent film with a live orchestration. It was super fun, and it like just added to the music, just added to how exciting everything was. It made me feel like I was watching wrestling for the first time.
Oh my God. Well, but look, and this is not your first time watching wrestling.
No.
Obviously, you're a lifelong wrestling fan. I mean, but also like how, I mean, you mentioned, how it's working in terms of the orchestra surrounding the ring. I wonder about the wrestlers. Are they performing to the music? Are they like timing themselves and pacing themselves to the tempo of Beethoven?
Yes, it was really bizarre because like I wasn't sure how they were like again, I wasn't sure how they were going to do it because wrestling is often like yes, it's predetermined, but a lot of the stuff is just like very point form moments in the ring. But like they were like it seemed like the orchestra was waiting for the right moments to make those sounds, and it was really great to have them use like the big Kimball things, and like the tuba guy got over, like everybody was screaming for him and hoping he'd have a solo and stuff like that. It was so fun.
I love that there's engagement with the tuba guy.
Yes.
And look, like, I mean, we mentioned Beethoven, right? But I mean, that when you describe this setup, I'm just thinking like Wagner's Ring Cycle has to be in this. But tell me, like, what other composers did they tap into for this?
Well, they had Brahms, they had Tchaikovsky. Like, I'm terrible with pronouncing names. One of the like Mozart was a big one. They had Strauss, who also was one of the more famous classical composers for wrestling because Strauss's theme was Ric Flair's theme for the longest time. And it was incredibly fun to hear it because everybody was doing like the Ric Flair woos. But I was also very happy to hear, as a Lord of the Rings fan, they did Howard Shore's Fellowship of the Ring when the good tag team came out. So it was incredibly adorable, like when they were like high-fiving at the time and everybody's cheering.
Yeah. Well, listen, like, look, Ric Flair and Strauss, these are not names that I would have ever imagined in the same sentence. And I mean, it sounds like the mashup worked for you.
Oh yes, it was incredibly fun. I really love how unique it was. Like, I thought this event was organized by Winnipeg Pro Wrestling itself, but I found out that the composer or the maestro of Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra, Daniel Bartholomew Poyser, was the one who pitched it to them. And I'm like, you could tell how I think there was a lot of there was a lot of fan because he's a big fan of wrestling as well, and so you could tell that love was there, and he even got involved in a few matches and stuff, so it was really silly. And like a lot of the breaking of the maestro's composer stick, I can't remember what they call those things, but it was like it happened at least twice, and every single time everybody was like shocked.
I love that. And I love that he's the one that approached the wrestling organization because, like, I mean, I'm guessing, like, I mean, look, you went into this as a wrestling fan, but maybe this is an event that will win a wrestling fan like you over to classical music. Is that what happened for you?
Well, yes, I really enjoyed it. I'm usually a big fan of going to those like film screenings where they have like the orchestra, just because music is always such a big part of films. And I didn't realize how much music is a big part of what makes you react in wrestling as well. Like in WWE, they always have promos with like back in the day, it used to be Limp Bizkit and like Korn horn and stuff, but like having it be like this big, larger than life orchestration with like some of the most like the classical tunes of the past. I'm like, why aren't we using this more? This is already like, and it's in the public domain probably, so it's probably free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and well, I mean, look, like let's get to the flip side of this. I mean, so you are a pro wrestling fan. Now you're into classical music. What do you think this event does for wrestling, for wrestling as a sport, wrestling being such a mainstay in Winnipeg? What does having classical music there do for that sport?
I think it just elevates it a bit just because like I was like like as I said I was like I'm not sure how they're going to do this, and it because wrestling is sometimes so stuck in its ways and like people like keeping it the way it is. I think events like this kind of bring it to a new audience because I was seeing people who would never go to wrestling going to this just to see what it was like, because I think it combined every single great thing about wrestling and every single good thing about going to the symphony. And I think that was really cool of Daniel and WPW as a whole, that like they brought their intense love of music and their intense love of wrestling, and you could see it just in front of you. And I'm like, I have never smiled that much the whole time. I like it was about 2 hours long and I just had like a smile from ear to ear the whole time.
Amazing. Well, let me tell you something. This has definitely made me rethink wrestling in general and how I might imagine it. It's just changing my worldview. Okay, Sonya, before I let you go, my producer asked you for what your walkout song would be if you had an orchestra play you out the ring, and you said Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. Wait, great choice. Here it is. Perfect pick. Sonya, I mean, we can't give you extra wrestling music without finding out what would be your wrestling name and your wrestling archetype. So, yeah, give us your best.
I would probably, yeah, I could never be a villain. I am too sweet for that. So I'd probably be like a John Cena, like a Bret Hart type archetype person. So like underdoggy. But I'd also be, I think I'd go simple and be like the unbeatable Sonya Ballantyne.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, unbeatable Sonya Ballantyne, thank you so much for being here. This has been a blast.
Thank you for having me.
So, Unbeatable Sonya Ballantyne is a Swampy Cree filmmaker. They're based in Winnipeg.